Hello everyone, my name is Kunal Bhardwaj. Today our learning topic will be the collective bargaining process. So, follow the picture on the left and let's begin the greatest negotiation of our time. So, firstly, we have our learning outcomes, what we'll learn in this session. The first thing will be what is collective bargaining process and its framework. And the second will be how to prepare to negotiate, what is good faith bargaining, what are employees' power in collective bargaining, and what are the union power in the collective bargaining. So we're gonna discuss all this topic, and at the end of the session, you're gonna know what are all these things. So the collective bargaining process. Before starting the topic, I want to ask you guys: how many of you have a union at the workplace? If yes, what are the additional benefits? But if your answer is no, why you think there should be a union at your work? We're gonna answer this more clear at the end of this topic. So, what is collective bargaining process? It is the process where labor union and an employer negotiate and agree on a term and condition of employment. It is a key way for workers and union to ensure their rights and interests are considered in the workplace. It can lead to higher wages, better benefits, and safer workplace for the employees. In the next step, we have the collective bargaining framework. So this is the framework. This is a diagram of the framework. In the first step, we have union gives notice to employer to commence collective bargaining. From here, the negotiation will start. So in this, the notice by the union has been given to the employer in which all their demands are written. In the next step, the employer and union each select their own bargaining teams, like in which they select some people who are the face of their team. Like the employer will select some of the people who be the face of them, and the union will select some people who gonna go in front of the employers and bargain. On the third step, we have employer and union each gather information to determine bargaining strategies and tactics, including assessing the other goals. In this, after getting the notice, employer analyze everything and state what they can do, and the union analyze the data to pitch further. In the fourth step, both the bargaining teams meet to review a compromise on the proposal from each and research agreement on new collective agreement. Here, both the parties compromise on something to make a new collective agreement. Like there should be like more demands, but like they have to compromise on some to so both the parties are like get agree on the new collective agreement, and at the end employer and union each take agreement to the key discussion decision making for rectifying of new collective agreement. The next topic is prepare to negotiate. How can we get like prepared to negotiate? So as we have seen in the framework that both will get the information as well as develop strategies and tactics in preparation for bargaining. The purpose of this is to have a logical flow of the exchange of proposal and create a possibility for both parties. The first we can do is collecting bargaining data. Any administrative related information like grievance or like amount of labor payrolls and more is important to have understanding what proposal might be developed. And the second step is strategies for bargaining. All the strategies we make for the bargaining. There should be strategies for bargaining, as without that, a company might end up with an unwanted outcomes. There should be a written plan covering the strategies for an employer. It is important by both the employer and union to make a strategy to move. And the next topic, we have two things. You have good fit bargaining and you have bad fit bargaining. So what are the difference and what are the definitions? So what is a good fit bargaining? Once a union has been recognized as a representative for employer, it will accept the employer to meet and negotiate in good faith. Employer as well as union by labor law are required to do so. If not, either party could face consequences. Also, union are expected not to withdraw agreement from something they had previously agreed to. What are the main things of good faith bargaining? Example is like being representative by authorized representatives, avoid unnecessary delays, sharing relevant information without delays, or responding to proposals without delays. So, and these were all the good fit bargaining. Now, what are the bad fit bargaining? If we talk about from the employer's perspective, it's using delay tactics such as frequent postponing of bargaining session. It's in setting that the union stop striking before resuming negotiation and negotiating with individual employees other than authorized union representatives. And what are the bad faith bargaining from union side? It's same using delay tactics such as frequent postponing of bargaining session, withdrawing concession previously granted, and going through the motion of bargaining rather than conducting honest negotiation. So these were the difference between the good fit bargaining and the bad fit bargaining. Now we have the employee power and union power in collective bargaining. So what are the employee power? Is continuing operation during strike. What is continuing operation during strike? So it is basically when the union is on strike, but the company still choose to get operate with the employees they have, or like working by their own. They don't shut down the company, and the company is still operating. And the second option to do is lockout. What is lockout? A lockout is a closing of a place of work by an employer. Lockout may be used by employer to pressure the union into agreeing to term and condition of employment and sign a collective bargaining agreement. Now, what union can do? The first thing they can do is strike. A strike is a situation in which workers refuse to perform their work during labor negotiation. It is legal only during negotiation. After the collective agreement has expired, employees cannot strike during the collective agreement. And the second one is picket. What is picketing? Picketing is a form of protest where employees gather near the workplace to try to convince people not to do business with their employer. Picketing is a way for employees to communicate their grievance and seek public support during a labor dispute. So now this is a summary. What we have learned, what we know what collective bargaining process and what are the framework of it. We know how to prepare to negotiate. We know what is good fit bargaining, and we also know what is bad fit bargaining. We know what are the employees' power for the collective bargaining. Like they can close their business, lock out, or they can continue running with the employees they have or work by themselves. And what are the union power in collective bargaining? Like they can go on a strike or they can do picket. Thank you so much, and I hope that this video makes you a better understanding on the topic collective bargaining process.